This is how you get self-aware. These are the exact steps that I've taken to gain massive clarity in my life. So if you are ambitious and serious, you want to take a pen and paper and apply the information that I'm going to share. But first, let's define self-awareness. According to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, self-awareness means knowledge and awareness of your personality and character. Now at this point you might ask, why is this important and how does this help me? Look, the world is getting more and more complex. I'm sure you have noticed this too. The rate at which things are changing is very fast, and if you look around, most people, especially young people, are extremely lost in these modern days. They are lacking clarity, they are confused, they are pulled to different directions with all this technology and all those opportunities. Especially if you are an ambitious person, you have probably noticed that there are many opportunities in this world right now that you can take advantage of. But most people don't have this self-awareness to really go deep inside and to really ask fundamental questions like, who am I? What do I like? What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? And although we are living in an incredibly advanced world, most people still don't know what they truly want because they haven't gone deep within themselves. Please think about this. If you don't know who you truly are, how are you supposed to live the good life and achieve your goals and dreams? Now, to be fair here, I think it's partially our fault, but the other part is society's influence. In this modern age, self-awareness, introspection, really thinking deeply about life is not promoted. But if you observe the most successful people that are fulfilled in life, they have a lot of introspection. They are very self-aware. They know exactly who they are, what they want, and how they relate to other people. Now the question becomes how to gain self-awareness. First, you have to make the decision to become more self-aware. And I tell you why. You can only become fully self-aware when you truly value self-awareness. You have to make it a habit to regularly reflect on your life. Because the most successful people that are fulfilled have all one thing in common. They reflect on their lives on a daily basis. Now, if you're watching this far, you slowly understand that this is not for the lightweights. Although it works for everyone, but not everyone will make this decision. But you and I have different standards. We want to live life on our own terms. We want to use our full potential and live an extraordinary life. So there's one particular personality test that unlocked my personality. It is the Myers-Briggs. But before we dive into it, a quick backstory. In the beginning of 2020, as I got more serious about my life and my personal development journey, I realized I can't live that way because I was heading in so many directions. I was fascinated by this whole online and social media world because I saw people doing drop shipping, making money online, traveling the world. And as I got more and more interested, I tried different stuff like a personal development blog. I started an Instagram page, but I stopped after 30 posts. But the thing here is I knew I wanted to live life on my own terms. But the problem was I was starting and stopping things. I was always running in circles because I was not clear on my strengths and weaknesses. And that's when everything changed when I did the Myers-Briggs personality test. But the moment I saw my test results, it blew my mind because it was a very accurate description of my personality. Now there are debates between psychologists on the validity of the Myers-Briggs personality test. But regardless of that, I found this test to be extremely useful and many other people are using it too. It is worldwide one of the most popular tests. It is based on Carl Jung's theory of personality types. Now Carl Jung is not the creator of the Myers-Briggs personality test. Anyway, I put a link in the description. It is a free test that I highly urge you to do it right now. So basically you have different aspects and ratios that encompass your whole personality. As you can see based on my results, I tend to be more an extrovert than an introvert. So what that means is if you score high on extroversion, you tend to gain more energy with talking with other people. But if you are on the other spectrum, more introverted, what this means is you are more reserved, you like to have a close circle, and you tend to be more concerned about your inner world and your inner thoughts. Now, very important here, if you're looking at your test results, there is no better or worse personality types. And also, this test is not permanent. It is rather a quick snapshot of your current personality, and personalities change. Next, we have intuitive and observant. If you score higher on intuitive, what this means is you tend to be someone that is more imaginative, you think about possibilities, you are more concerned about the future and how things could look like. You ask a lot of what if questions. And if you tend to be more observant, what this means is you are more practical. You are more interested about the facts, the traditional ways to do things. And then we have thinking and feeling. If you err on the side of thinking, what this means is you are likely to be more rational, and your first instinct when you are making decisions decisions or your thinking patterns is based on rationality, on logic. And on the other side, if you score higher on feeling, your instinct is more feeling based. So what this means is you make decisions based on feelings and emotions. You also tend to make decisions based on how other people's would feel like. So next we have judging and perceiving. If you score high on judging, what this means is you are more organized, you like to have more routines, you like to plan things ahead and like to have a predictable schedule. If you are on the perceiving side, what this means is you are more likely to be more spontaneous, you dislike routines and strict rules, and you are more likely to be someone who goes with the flow. So what is the key with all of this? Basically, you want to go through your report and it shows you different things like career paths, friendships, relationships, how you most likely behave in social situations. And I've done this test with many people and most people had the same experience. That is about 80% scarily accurate. So what I realized after reflecting on my test results is I had always this entrepreneurial spirit. So what this means is, for example, I worked a lot of my career in sales, in different levels of sales. So in sales, you would talk with people, so extroversion comes handy. And also I always like to think deeply about stuff. I was always very curious, I was very interested in business, also how you can really upgrade your life in psychology. And when you reflect back on your life based on this test result, you will see a lot of patterns and this should give you a lot of insights and then you can connect the dots. Now again, this test, if probably very accurate, is still just a snapshot. So don't get caught away and overanalyze everything, but let me know your test results in the comment section below. I'm very curious to see what comes out. Now in combination with the Myers-Briggs, you want to take the Big 5 personality test. This one is more scientific and more widely accepted by psychologists and institutions. In this test, you have 5 variables: openness, conscientiousness, extraversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. Also here you can find a free link in the description box below where you can take this test for free. So if you score higher on openness, what this means is you tend to be more creative, more imaginative. So basically you are more open to new experiences. Now the more interesting trait, especially if you're ambitious and you have big goals and dreams, is conscientiousness. Basically, the higher, the better. I know I might be a little bit biased here, but according to experts and a lot of business leaders, this is the trait they look up most to. And there are some people that say conscientiousness is the major factor for success, especially in the career. And also conscientious people tend to have high standards and they are typically self-motivated, especially if they have the freedom to pursue their goals. Now the difference between the Myers-Briggs extroversion factor and the Big 5 extroversion is in the Big 5, they tend to link extroversion also with positive emotions. So high scores in extroversion mean you are more socially engaged and you tend to have more assertiveness. And if you score low on extroversion, you tend to be more of an introvert. Also here, there's no better this and that between extroversion and introversion. Both can be very successful. Next, there's agreeableness. If you score high, you tend to be more cooperative, you tend to follow rules. But if you are very low on agreeableness, what this means is you tend to be more stubborn, you will like to do things your own way, and you most likely challenge traditional institutions or traditional thought and those type of things. And the final one is neuroticism, or in other tests also referred to natural reactions. Basically, the higher your scores, the more likely you tend to experience things like anxiety on a regular basis. So this also predicts how you tend to deal with stress. So if you are very low on neuroticism or this trait of natural reactions, what will happen is you have less negative emotions, but the downside to that is you tend to be overconfident, sometimes even slightly narcissistic. These are all traits that can happen if you are on one side of the spectrum. Now the point with doing all of those personality tests is you have a systematic way to really reflect on your personality and your life. And if you do both tests and really reflect on it, you should have a lot of clarity and a lot of aha moments, because this is exactly what happened with me. Now, I'm a little bit of a nerd when it comes to this because I'm very fascinated by this type of stuff. And what I've done is I dove way deeper into this. I took many other personality tests, but this will completely blow up this video. The most important 2 tests are really these ones. These ones alone should give you a lot of insight into your personality. Now, the truth is this: you don't get fully self-aware just by doing some personality tests. There are 2 key habits that you want to incorporate in your life if you're serious about self-awareness, clarity, and really living life on your own terms. The first one is journaling. I talked a lot about journaling and how effective this practice is, not only for self-awareness, also releasing negative emotions, gaining clarity, and making better decisions. So what you want to do is to regularly record your thoughts, ideally once a day. Personally, I usually do something called morning pages. Morning pages is essentially a journaling technique where when you wake up, ideally in the first hour in the morning, you write down your thoughts. So basically, you write down everything that comes to your mind, also called stream of consciousness. You let go of perfection, you let go of grammar, you just write down all your thoughts, all your fears. Let it all out for at least 5 to 10 minutes. And then you want to reflect on your writing, because when you do this technique correctly, you'll record your subconscious thoughts, because this is not conscious most of the time. You let go what is really deep inside your mind, below the surface, and then you can really reflect and notice patterns. The second key habit for self-awareness is meditation. Now, I know I talk a lot about meditation, but this is really a key practice that is also evidence-based, based on a lot of research, mindfulness, and all this stuff. When it comes to self-awareness and really gaining insights about yourself, meditation is one of the best practices you can do right now. Now, I know meditation can get very confusing, and I keep it very simple. So ideally what you want to do is to meditate for 10 minutes each day. I keep it simple. I choose a quiet room, I set a timer on my phone for 10 minutes, I close my eyes, and I do nothing. Because when you're sitting still with your thoughts, you'll expose what is in your mind. And you will see, especially if you're not a regular meditator, in the beginning it will be very hard because your mind will go crazy, and sitting still for 10 minutes is extremely hard. I've been there, and sometimes when I meditate, even after 2 years, there are days where I feel very itchy and I can't sit still. So you want to discipline your mind. If you pick those habits, meditation and journaling, your self-awareness will go through the roof and you'll have more consciousness. And I'm telling you, I believe in this modern age, things like focus and self-awareness are a key differentiator between the successful people and fulfilled people and the people that are still stuck in the 95% of the day-to-day actions. Now, if you watch until this point of this video, it means that you truly value self-awareness. Now, self-awareness and finding your purpose and identifying your purpose go hand in hand. So that's why you want to watch this video next. It is a very comprehensive, extremely powerful video on how you can find your purpose. It is a very systematic way to finding your purpose. This is the exact method that I've used 3 years ago to find my purpose. So I see you in this video. If you found this video valuable, let me know in the comment section below your thoughts. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever I post a video.